Steam and Cinders is a 2D action-adventure game. You're part of a hunter organization, there to chase down wild beasts, enemies of the city, and creatures of the night. I am Eric, I'm a game designer, and today I want to be looking at the game design of Steam and Cinders. Steam and Cinders has a very interesting setup. You wake up after having been severely damaged, but no one can find out that you, the great hunter, was defeated. Instead, you're trying to cover this up. You're trying to pretend that you were on a mission for 4 weeks. What I love about this setup is that you immediately have conflict. You immediately have a moral decision that needs to be made by the character in question. This allows all the other characters, the NPCs and especially the protagonist, to shine when it comes to character development. Show the player how they talk, how they behave, their personality traits, and the game plays into this so well. Every character feels distinct, with their own needs and wants, their own way of approaching situations. The character design is varied and diverse, and this is also represented in their dialogue. The characters are well thought out. This all really helps make the world feel alive, and alive it feels. The city is beautifully crafted and designed. Everything makes sense in terms of the placement of buildings, where people are hanging out, what people are doing. It does such a marvelous job at simulating this experience, as if I'm actually there, part of that world. Steam and Cinders is combat focused. I mean, you are a hunter after all. Feared by many, loved by some. And the combat feels good. It is snappy, with a lot of different enemies with unique attributes and attacks coming right at you. The combat focuses around positioning. You need to ensure that you can get a couple of hits into the enemy, but the moment they strike, you need to dodge out of the way, either forwards or backwards. This management of positioning is what defines the identity of the combat you're engaging yourself in. Generally, it is engaging. You go in, you go out, but in some instances, when you are encountering a lot of the same enemies, you know how it's going to play out. The enemies have little surprises up their sleeves, and it becomes more of an automatic process instead of a challenge in which you need to constantly adapt yourself to the situation. Of course, there are different setups to the enemies and different configurations of one enemy combined with another enemy to provide a new challenge. But generally speaking, you can choose your victim without too much intervention from all the other enemies around. What I love to see in the full game of Steam and Cinders is more variation. More variation when it comes to your light and heavy attacks. Perhaps the inclusion of some special attacks. More weapons, more ways for you to approach a situation. This progression and the ability to customize your skill set will keep combat fresh and engaging. Constantly trying out new moves on new enemies. Rinse and repeat. What I do really like is how the quests are set up. There are some side quests around the city, but they never force you to engage with them. It's all up to you, player choice. Do you want to help the doctor who saved your life? Maybe. Do I want to help this guy who lost his brother? Potentially. But I never feel pressured to do anything like that. I always feel like I can make my own choices. I'm a strong, independent character. I can do what I want to. From what I've played of the demos so far, Steam and Cinders is fundamentally sound. It is everything required to result in a satisfactory end product. It has the combat, it has the world building, it has character depth and complexity. I would highly recommend you keep an eye out for Steam and Cinders if you are into the concept of the game. Being a hunter, going on quests, making your own decisions which will affect the state of the world. If you're ready to take on a challenge with various enemies and rough boss fights which will test your patience and determination. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Game Designer Plays. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!